Hey Giovanna, did you hear about the COP26 conference that happened in Glasgow, Scotland?
I did, and I know it was about climate change, but why was it called COP26? Kind of reminded me more of a conference for police officers.
Confusing, right? COP stands for Conference of the Parties, meaning all countries that are part of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And 26 because this is the 26th time these world leaders are meeting about climate change. The conference is also known as the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference.
Okay, that makes more sense. I know climate change is a really important issue, but do you know about some of the latest data?
Unfortunately, I do. Let me tell you more. Before we jump into some numbers, let's do a quick vocabulary lesson. Climate change is the long-term shifts in climate and weather patterns which are naturally occurring. However, humans and the Industrial Revolution have really sped up the process in a negative way. Humans emit a huge amount of greenhouse gases through our use of non-renewable resources such as oil and natural gas. These greenhouse gases get stuck in the atmosphere, trapping heat and increasing global temperatures. Leading up to the climate change conference, the UN, aka United Nations, released data that shows that we are on track for a 2.7 degrees Celsius increase. That means that the Earth is on track to heat up about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. We are already seeing the effects of climate change, such as in the Arctic Ocean, where melting ice caps are leading to an increase in sea levels and polar bears losing their habitat. Not just in the Arctic, but all around the world, we are seeing the effects of climate change. Increased wildfires, heat waves, and extreme weather such as hurricanes have taken the world by storm and shown us that climate change is here. Even Sir David Attenborough, whose iconic voice has narrated some of the top nature shows in the world, such as Blue Planet and Planet Earth, is worried that it is too late. Let's hear from him now.
The question is, on a world scale, when is it too late? But it's difficult to see, if we don't act now, it will be too late. And we've been saying that for a long time, and we're saying, well, what do we mean by now? And we've said, well, in the next 10 years or something, and think, 10 years' time, that's a couple of budgets away, and politicians won't do things. We have to do it now.
I do love his voice, but I don't like what he's saying. If we don't act now, it'll be too late.
I know, it's scary.
Especially for people our age. I mean, we're the next generation that's going to live in this hot world.
I know how you're feeling, and a lot of kids are feeling uncertain about the future. Let's now hear from some teens and climate change activist Greta Thunberg about how they're feeling about climate change.
I think anxiety is just the new name of the game for my generation and future generations.
Yes, I'm worried about the climate change.
I think definitely yes. Being part of the society in the 21st century, I think it's very hard to ignore the increasing climate problems.
I definitely do feel anxious about it.
I don't know what it means, what the future holds for us. Yes, but it's quite worrying.
It's a quite natural response because as you see, as the world is today, that no one seems to care about what's happening. I think it's only human to feel that way. But of course it doesn't have to be that way, because when you take action you also get a sense of meaning that something is happening. If you want to get rid of that anxiety, you can take action against it. When we take action, there is hope everywhere. So if you want something to happen, then do something. By that, I do not mean that the responsibility falls on individuals and that people in power are left off the hook, but we have an opportunity to make them act. We all have a responsibility, but sometimes that responsibility is to put pressure on those who need to take action.
Well, it seems like our generation is feeling pretty anxious, scared, and nervous about climate change.
I know that's how I'm feeling, but something Greta Thunberg said really lifted my spirits. When we take action, there is hope everywhere. So if you want something to happen, do something.
I totally agree. When there's action, there's hope.
So, Next Gen viewers, how can you take action? What can you do in the fight against climate change?
For resources to take action, check out Climate Change at a Tipping Point on www.nextgennews.com.